Hi, my name is Doreen Calderon, owner of The Recognized Actor, and I am a catalyst coach for artists in the industry who want transformative change. And today I'm going to talk about the difference between the pain of trying to figure something out versus the relief in understanding how life works. The first example that came to my mind was Icarus versus the Wright brothers. We can answer how-to questions like how to fly only once we understand the physics behind it. So with Icarus, you remember that Greek myth? Icarus's dad had him glue feathers onto his arms with wax. And Icarus got so full of himself that he kept flying higher and higher and into the sun, and the sun melted the wax and gravity. So Icarus and his dad, first of all, they didn't understand heat. They didn't understand gravity. They didn't understand the physics of the human body and what you need to uh, to have it fly. They didn't know any of that. So failure. And I think it was looked at as a punishment from the gods. But then you look at the Wright brothers, and I know there's some argument about who really learned about flight. Da Vinci, was it someone between Da Vinci and the Wright brothers? But we'll take the Wright brothers as an example. So the Wright brothers already knew about physics, and they did have some failures. It wasn't about their failures having to do with them being good or bad people, getting too close to the sun god Apollo. So, how does this relate to the industry? Let's take a specific example of when you have worked your ass off to do a great audition. Your agent says it's great, your manager says it's great, you know it's great. Or you go through all the steps, you're pinned, and then they release you. That's where the pain starts for most actors. They're trying to figure out what they did wrong, what failed. They're trying to figure out everything that has to do with them. But if we understand the physics of simply how life works, how the industry works, there's relief. Simple stuff that we already know. We know that a person can be cast based on, we'll say, the director's whim. A person can be cast because nepotism, because they're perfect for the role, because they look right for the role, because they were already offered the part. We may not have been cast because the part was cut, because they went in a different direction. Like for me, they could have gone with an 85-year-old African American man. Has nothing to do with me because the project was canceled, even though I never knew. That's part of the industry, though. So if we understand, again, I mean, we know it, but really understand that we're hardly ever going to get feedback. But understand that that doesn't mean we should start making up stuff. It'll save us so much pain if we step back and see the physics of how the industry works, how life works. Then we will have more peace and more energy to move on to the next thing. We won't be looking back at it all the time about that thing that I didn't get. Let me just give you my piece of advice on how to have an easier life. Quit thinking so much. Just show up and play.